Do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it till you're
Make
satisfied.
it good.
Welcome to the Cine-Scoots Podcast.
Welcome.
I'm Javier.
Injured.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, somebody got
Yeah.
Adriana Chechik.
Somebody was going too far today.
They
Too
blew out
far.
his back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hurt your back doing
Deadlifts.
the workouts.
I hate deadlifts. I really, really do hate deadlifts.
So what were you doing deadlifts?
My trainer put that in our routine today.
Tell her, be like, listen, I don't want
Tell her.
You said her.
No, my trainer. I didn't say her. It's a
You
him.
said her.
It's a him.
I have receipts.
It's a big muscly him.
I will look at this
It's
and
a
I'll be like, he said her.
big muscly him.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, you should be like, hey, listen, man, I'll do anything, just not deadlifts.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, after today, he has no excuse
Yeah, that's true.
because he broke your back.
Yeah.
Anyway, today we are discussing Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which a good title.
Yeah.
Very good title. Very descriptive of what you're about to watch, right?
Yes.
So this is a quote unquote biopic.
I love that decision.
I love it. I love it so much. It's so appropriate.
It is. And I'm so excited to give my star rating of this movie. But you say what you need to say first.
All right.
Yeah.
So I am not a huge Weird Al fan.
Yeah.
Right. So I've heard his music.
Yeah.
There are some of his songs that I will prefer over like the OGs.
Yeah.
I think the song White and Nerdy
White Nerdy
is one of the songs that like every once in a while will pop up and I'm like, yes, this song's a fucking banger.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not a huge like parody song fan. I grew out of that.
Specific genre of music.
Yes.
Yeah.
I grew out of that genre of music like very early in my
Yeah.
life and I haven't really revisited it.
Yeah.
But still, like it's good.
Yeah.
So watching a movie about this
That is a parody.
that is a parody in and of itself.
Yeah.
Is great.
My students taught me what like in and out means.
In and out.
And before anybody reads anything into this, I run our school newspaper.
Uh-huh.
And then one of my students wants to do a what's in, what's out running feature. So I'm like, I think I know what that is, but what is it? She's like, arm day at the gym is in. Potatoes are in. No, arm day was out. Arm day was out. She's like, potatoes are in, arm day's out. But I don't know. It's like the most random shit. And I think it's from TikTok. It's from TikTok, but like you could do a tiny thing.
Sure.
Like this is in right now, this is out right now.
I see.
And there's no like rules on what you can pick. It could just be anything.
Okay.
And you know what? Biopics are fucking out. Biopics are out.
I am tired of the biopic.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's huge Oscar bait. So
yeah, the only two I've liked are this one and Elton John, both of which play fast and loose with the confines of biopic,
and they are both fun.
Yes. Yeah.
Like say what you will about Bohemian Rhapsody, it's not good for starters.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like,
yeah,
like it's not exciting.
Yeah.
Rocket Man, had the funness of it.
Yes.
While still being able to hit on like some important beats. But I love the fact that this movie's a parody.
Me too.
And it's really when we were messaging yesterday about the movie a little bit. I wanted to say this movie reminds me so much of like old school scary movie. Like
I heard Pick of Destiny. Yeah, okay.
That too, and Pick of Destiny.
Yeah.
But Pick of Destiny is because like it's the same idea, right? You take a band.
I was gonna say, what did we see this year that we wanted to be more like Pick of Destiny?
Oh, what was it?
That was not. I don't remember. We reviewed it.
We did.
We reviewed it.
But now I'm blinking.
It's all right.
But anyway.
Oh, Dave Grohl, the horror movie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This movie hit that, like, itch that
scratch that itch.
Scratch that itch, yes. Because like you have a band that is real in Tenacious D, and they give you like a fictionalized story about how the band gets together, and in this case, how he goes from being like a little kid who gets
Yeah.
an accordion, which I guess is true. He did get his accordion from like traveling
I love
salesman.
that opening though. I love that whole opening scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, that's exactly a scene from Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
There are some people who are like, if you're not sure if it's a parody early on, you'll get it at the end. And I'm like, who in their dumbass mind wouldn't know this was a parody from that very first scene?
So did you watch? Did you know going into this that this was not like
I knew it was gonna be. I knew going into it was gonna be a parody because I had
okay?
seen reviews.
I hadn't seen anything. I had
Yeah,
purposely stayed away.
yeah.
I didn't even see trailers.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't see a damn thing.
So it was interesting. The trailers actually made me uninterested. The
Really?
reviews are what made me interested.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I watched it and I was like, okay, this seems a little weird,
yeah,
but maybe exaggerated.
yeah,
And then he starts beating on the salesman, and I was like, ah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So yeah, no, we're going full on scary movie here. Um, but I do think that going into this movie, knowing it's a parody, kind of lets you get like in the right mindset for this,
yes.
right? And it's funny. I feel like the humor lands more often than not.
So here's what I'll say.
Sure.
So I gave Banshees of Innisfree, not Innisfree, but Innisfree, 3.5 stars. I give this movie 3 stars,
Oh,
and it is to me the most perfect 3-star movie I've ever seen. And why do
okay.
you say that? And why
Why
do
do
I
you
say that?
say
Why do
that?
I say that? Because Weird Al is just like the quintessential 3-star musician. Like we were talking about like parody and satire in my sophomore class yesterday, and I showed them the difference. I showed them Amish Paradise, and I showed them an SNL, a recent SNL sketch. Um, in short, parody is just mockery, satire is mockery with a point. So I was like, all right, which one's funnier? And they're like, the SNL one. And I'm like, why? They're like, the Weird Al one, they're like, is funny, but it's just very like juvenile. Like there's nothing to it.
Hmm.
And I'm like, yeah. I think there's like the littlest bit of something to it, and the fact that he's so good at his brand and he's so dedicated to his craft.
Yeah.
I think this movie was the perfect love letter to Weird Al, and in the sense that I thought it was funny and never like I'm gonna remember this for 50 years funny. Like I'm gonna remember the fact that we made fun of biopics, and I'm like, perfect, fuck biopics, right? Um, but like especially like his new music is definitely mid AF. He actually just put out a song, um, like 2 days ago, or maybe even
Was it
yesterday.
the one that closes the movie?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And that song is like, I was like, haha, I get it. Like, it's kind of funny, but it's not like shit your pants kind of funny, right?
Shit your pants kind of
And
funny.
that's just kind of what Weird Al is. Like,
Sure.
he's funny.
Uh-huh.
He's very juvenile. He knows what he is. He loves what he is. He accepts what he is, and like you just have to too.
Hmm.
And like, he's not 5-star humor, but
Oh,
he's the solidest 3 star. Yeah,
he's like
yeah,
this is gonna get a little weird, but
yeah.
like I enjoy Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, I finished that special yesterday.
Uh, I think some people fucking love Gabriel
Yeah,
Iglesias,
they
but
do.
I feel like he's like
Yeah,
a safe like you watch it and you know you're gonna have a good time.
he is lovable but not hilarious.
Yes,
Yes.
that's how I see Weird Al in his music. I feel.
And that's why I think this movie was the perfect 3-star movie because it was like lovable, not hilarious,
Hmm.
funny, but like not like there are points in this movie where I'm like, all right, like let's get to something.
Let's get to something.
Um, but I enjoyed it, and I very much enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I am someone who has been desperately waiting for the return of the parody movie
Hmm.
because that genre
Yeah.
died the most like unceremonious death.
So sad.
Because it was great.
It was
Like
great.
I remember sneaking to like the back of my cousin's apartment
Yeah.
to watch through their window and like get a peek of my dad and my uncle watching Scary Movie 2.
I remember being in eighth grade and thinking that Epic movie was the best movie of the year.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no. But like,
Yeah,
and I know like part of me is like, okay, my like 9, 10 year old brain is
yeah,
dumb and thinks this is hilarious.
yeah,
But I recently rewatched one of the scary movies with Katie, and it's still really fucking funny.
yeah,
It like it knows how to pick apart like the genre that it's parodying.
yeah,
Like it knows what's funny about like the slasher movies, what's
mm,
funny about like, your weird like possession movies.
yeah,
And like the first two movies are great.
yeah.
And then you start going into like Scary Movie 3 and 4 and 5. I
Right.
think 6.
Yeah.
And then you have the epic
And
movies.
then you eventually meet the
And
Spartans.
then you're and then you're at Meet the Spartans.
I don't know when, like,
And vampires suck.
I never saw Vampires suck, but it was interesting. I don't know what the gap was between Meet the Spartans and Epic Movie.
Hmm.
It couldn't have been that big
Not big.
because 300 came out around when I was in eighth grade. But I remember thinking Meet the Spartans was trash. And I was like, they don't make them like they did with Epic Movie. So much better, right? So yeah, like it's definitely middle school. And that's when I was introduced to Weird Al, was when I was in middle school.
Uh-huh.
Our music teacher played it for us to teach us what parody was. And we thought it was the shit. She showed us like 5 Weird Al music videos during music class. And we're like,
Interesting.
play more, play more, play more. Yeah.
So I'm looking this up really quick.
Yeah. As you look it up, did you see UHF?
No, I did not.
Do you know what UHF is?
No.
It was a movie that Weird Al made. That had a plot. It wasn't like a I don't remember too much from the movie, but it wasn't like necessarily super musically focused.
Sure. Was it
Uh,
about him?
no,
Or
it's a
was it like an
character.
actual
It's an actual movie.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was still like kind of Weird Al-ish humor. Like, have you seen a GIF of like people jumping out of a closet and yelling "supplies"
No.
instead of "surprise"? Oh,
No.
that's from there, right? And
Oh,
it's just like that sort of juvenile, not even witty, but just like lovably dumb funny
hmm.
that Weird Al just kind of is.
I see.
Yeah. He puts on a great concert, by the way.
I heard
Yeah,
he was did you see him when he was in
I did.
A-Town?
Yeah.
The funny thing is like back when he came, I was very uninterested
Hmm.
in going to because I mean, like I said, I enjoy his music. I don't
Right.
know that I would go out of my way. But
To be
watching
honest,
this
this would not have been
movie,
out of your way. That's the
no,
reason we went, because it was not out of our way.
but out of my way budgetarily,
Yeah, yeah,
right? I'm trying to type
yeah,
something, and I'm awful at typing and speaking at the same time.
yeah.
But anyway, um, I didn't feel like spending the money to like watch
To
him,
watch Room Live,
right?
yeah.
Because I mean, it was probably what like $60.
No less. Yeah,
Really?
I don't think it was that expensive.
Huh.
Yeah,
But anyway, I really did like this movie. I think Daniel Radcliffe does a great job.
great job.
Uh, because at first I was like, well, Daniel Radcliffe is like weirdly jacked.
Yeah,
He's a small man, but
right.
he's jacked.
Yeah,
And I was like, does that make sense? And I was like, no, Weird Al is kind of also kind of like a small. He looks
right.
like small and dainty,
Is he Jack?
but he's a little jacked,
I didn't know that.
a little bit, not a
Yeah,
lot. And I think everybody else in the cast does a good job.
I think Daniel Radcliffe had so much fun playing this.
Oh, absolutely. He
Yeah,
looked like he was having a blast.
yeah.
I mean, everybody in this movie looked like they were having a
Rainn
blast.
Wilson, I thought was the perfect casting.
For,
And I didn't even know Dr. Demento was a real person until this movie.
he was, yeah.
Yeah,
That I
and
didn't
like I'm
know.
like that's perfect. He's just playing like a slightly less
A slightly less
diseased.
unhinged.
Yeah, Dwight Schrute.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh, I think Evan Rachel Wood
as
was
Madonna.
as
Oh,
Madonna
perfect.
was
That was
was
awesome.
fantastic.
It made me remember why Madonna was hot.
Yes,
Yeah,
because I mean, if you watch her now,
yeah,
she looks okay for her
yeah, yeah,
age.
yeah, exactly.
But back in the day,
She had it.
she had it. She could get it.
She was Stacey's mom.
She was.
Yeah,
Yes. I think if you even remotely enjoy any of his music, you are going to have a great time watching this movie.
yeah,
Even if you don't, I think if you're looking for a good comedy, this movie has jokes for days.
It does have jokes for days.
And I had a really good time.
Yeah.
So let's chat spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers, 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 spoilers. I liked I liked how they set up like the movie as like at first you're like, okay, this is just gonna be like an exaggerated version
Of a biopic.
of a biopic.
Yeah.
But then it slowly kind of like becomes like super fucking unhinged.
Yes.
And I think starting the movie
With
with
this.
him at the hospital
Yeah.
is a good like indicator of like, oh,
Of where it's gonna
this is gonna
go.
get fucking weird.
Yeah.
Is there anything in this that did not necessarily work for you?
I honestly kind of wish, even though there were parts where it was like, all right, let's get on with it. I kind of wish that it was just a little longer
Okay,
and maybe had like more acts. Because like once like Madonna enters into the fray, it very much revolves around
that storyline.
that storyline.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, it's interesting that she would dominate so much of like so much of this movie. I don't know the true history of like a surgeon or to what extent like that they that that they even like talked with each other at
I
all.
don't know much. I don't know like details,
Yeah.
but I do know that apparently the story is that she did approach him and was like, "Hey,
Can you cover my
can
song?
you cover my song?"
Oh, really?
Apparently, that's what I read
I know that Michael Jackson and Coolio were not fans. Or maybe Michael Jackson was a fan and Coolio was not. Um,
of
of
Eat
their
It
yeah,
and
yeah.
uh,
Uh, so nothing that really like didn't work for me.
mhm.
I love the My Bologna scene.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's so stupid, but it
Yeah.
works in the context of the movie.
And that's pretty much how every other like
Biopic does
parodies
that shit too.
that, but also how the rest of the parodies are all set up like that. Where his mom's like, you know I'm fat. You know it.
I really like I like that scene, the My Bologna song.
Yeah.
But I like the I Love Rocky Road scene a
Yes.
lot
Yes.
of
You better start serving some ice cream.
you better start serving some ice cream right now, or you're gonna have a riot on your hands. Right?
Yeah.
It's so dumb to be like, oh, he's at this
Yeah.
biker bar,
Yeah.
and these guys are going to be listening to because they tell you at the beginning, like, he is going in here to perform I
Yes.
Love Rocky Road.
Yeah.
And the implication is this is not gonna go well
Right.
because you have all these big muscly dudes listening to ice cream song
Yeah. And they
and
love it.
they love it. They fucking go nuts for it.
Yeah.
They who is it that they beat up? Is
In
it
there.
the is
I think it's the
the
band that rejects him,
is
right?
it the previous band?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's really really fun to like see like also his group
Yeah.
embrace him right away.
I love the accordion party, the polka party.
Oh, at the beginning
That was hilarious.
where I fucking lost it when the ship is there guys it's the cops.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard you did accordion music at this party. It's good. I mean, it's a good way because I mean, I think they purposely said that like Weird Al doesn't really have a lot of like controversy,
No.
right? Because like if you were to make an actual biopic about this guy,
Yeah.
I think it'd be well, he is talented at what he does.
Yeah.
I think that is like the most boring biopic you could watch.
For sure.
But I think
And yet, all these other people, even dare I say Elton John,
Mhm.
are not interesting in and of themselves at all.
No.
I'm like, talented person does drugs. Right? That's kind of like what it is. Like,
It's almost more it's almost more impressive how popular he is
yeah.
and how good he is by being a very boring person at the
In
same
being in
time.
such a
Just such a like a
specific genre of music.
that too.
Yeah.
I like the few times where he's like, I'm gonna be the best the
Best
best known accordion player in the
engineer.
specific genre, which is where he gets his award at the end of the
Wow.
movie. The whole scene too, and they show a lot of like full length performances in this movie,
Yeah.
and I think they're handled very well in the sense of like in another biopic, like yeah, this is like the part of the like it's supposed to maybe connect into like a montage.
Hmm.
But like here, like no, they just sit there and like watch the people like have a fucking blast.
Yeah.
The whole another one bites the dust
Battle.
battle
Yeah.
with
With a
Jack Black,
yeah, that
which
was
is really funny because like it
yeah,
was
that's
like
funny.
right before that scene came on
Where you were like
where I
pick of
was like, this
destiny.
movie reminds me so much of Pick of Destiny,
Yeah.
and then like I sent that, and like 5 minutes later, fucking Jack Black shows up.
I'm glad this movie got the celebrity cameos that it did. I wish it got even more.
It's stacked as far as
Yeah.
celebrity cameos. We got Jack Black. We have I always mispronounce his name. Uh, Damien. Oh man, what is his name? David Dasmalchian. He's the guy who plays Polka Dot Man
Yeah.
in whatever.
Yeah.
We have Conan O'Brien in there.
Yeah.
It's a stacked cast.
Yeah.
Dimitri Martin plays fucking Tiny Tim,
Dimitri Martin's
which is
amazing.
funny because my knowledge of Tiny Tim,
Didn't start
uh,
until a couple weekends ago.
well, it starts and ends with Tiptoe Through the Tulips
Oh, really?
because of the movie Insidious.
I see.
That's my only reference to Tiny Tim in that song.
Gotcha.
And then just last weekend,
Our
our
friend
friend Colin is like, I'm dressing up as Tiny Tim for
for
our
D&D.
for D&D
Yeah.
Halloween. And I was like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
now I know who this guy is.
Yeah, that's me too. That's how I knew where Tiny Tim was.
So I was like, okay. But I mean, even having Weird Al cameo in this movie
Yeah.
as like the record label guy who's like, nah, your music
Yeah.
is dumb.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest point where Katie was like, wait, what? Was when he's like, here's an original song, eat it.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And that was I was trying to like think about it like, does this like break the rules of this like biopic as a parody? And then I was like, fuck it, it's Weird Al. I think that was very on brand.
Hmm.
That he would just like make that change. And then Michael Jackson with the cover. And they tried to do the historical revisionism. It's not. I was like, that's quite funny.
It's so funny because
Yeah,
like you know it's not
right.
like everything else. You could be like, well, obviously no,
Yeah,
but
right.
who's gonna fucking call you out on that, right?
Yeah,
But like with the Michael Jackson thing, I thought it was really good that they had him like at the restaurant
correct.
get the news
Yeah,
that Michael Jackson was
cover.
covering his song. It's
Right.
called "Beat It." What does that mean? Like, what does he say?
I don't remember.
Oh, he's like oh like beating eggs. He's like, no, it's not about food. It's about fighting or something. She's like, what?
Yeah.
He gets so fucking mad.
And then that leads into the Pablo Escobar scene, which
That
I
leads to
also
the.
thought was funny.
They said after that scene.
He's that's where kidnapping happens, and then Pablo Escobar lets him.
No, is it?
Yeah, kidnapping happens at the restaurant.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. No, because doesn't that happen at the diner? The kidnapping happens at the diner
So the
like
diner is not
later.
where the diner is not where he hears about Beat It.
No.
It's at another restaurant.
Yeah, he
Okay.
hears
All
about
right.
Beat It, and it's also kind of funny because when they have that whole scene where he's eating the nachos,
Yeah.
it's after he's having like an existential crisis. He has the nachos, and he's like, "These nachos taste funny. The guacamole tastes weird." He's like, "Yeah, it's laced with LSD." And he starts tripping balls, and then you start hearing the Beat It thing.
Yeah.
But it's not actually until after like that whole thing happens because then he has like the drinking problem.
Hmm.
Then he performs like he goes to perform something. He passes out,
Right.
or he gets into the car accident.
Yes.
He then writes like a virgin or like a
Like a surgeon.
surgeon,
Yeah.
and then after that,
Right.
um, he goes to have dinner
At the diner.
at the diner,
Yeah. And then
and
Escobar.
that's because that's when I like the scene where he's talking to Dr. Demento,
Yeah.
And he's like, "You can tell me anything in front of me that you would tell me in front of my girlfriend." He's like, "Well, I think she fucking sucks." He's just like talking shit. She's just like doing her makeup and shit. But yeah, that's after that happens. That's when she gets kidnapped.
I see.
Which I like. I like that it went into like a stupid like '80s like Rambo style
Yeah.
with
And I
his
think
camo Hawaiian shirt.
Madonna's trying to shoot at him through the. I forget if she's trying to shoot him or if it's Escobar as he's walking out, and
So
just like
yeah,
completely
so
misses each time.
so Escobar's like, "Oh yeah, you guys can leave whenever you want." He's like, "Oh okay." He's like, "Nah, psych."
Yeah.
And he fucking shoots him, and he's got his platinum
The platinum.
platinum
Yeah.
disc. And
And then he
then
kills him with the disc.
and he kills him with a disc, hitting him in the
Yeah.
head. And then they're about to leave, and Madonna's like,
Let's become
"Hey,
drug lords.
let's
Yeah.
become drunk." Which dope,
Yeah.
dope. Twist.
Madonna would.
Madonna would,
Madonna would.
if given the chance, I feel like she could build an empire.
Yeah.
And then she's leaving, and he's leaving, and she's like taking pot shots with missing,
Yeah, that was fun.
which again, those are things straight out of like a scary movie film,
Yeah.
right? And I like that I had to call it film because I don't want to say a scary movie.
Yes.
Because well, saying it's a scary movie,
Picture. Pictures, hey?
it's a picture.
It's a talking pictures, hey? Um okay. So you saw Prey this year, which is streaming only.
Yes.
And then this was streaming only.
Yes.
I will say props to Roku. If I wanted to, I could watch this on my laptop without even making an account. But at first, I did have to Google. I was like, how do you watch this without a Roku? And then I found out they had their own channel. And I was like, what the fuck? And then, I watched it. I couldn't watch it on my Apple TV. So I had to pull out my Fire Stick. To watch it on my Fire Stick, I had to make an account. So I had to, long story short, I couldn't watch this in one sitting. And there are various degrees of difficulty in watching this on Roku. But I was like, this would have been, I won't say perfect in theaters, like Prey would have been,
This would have been a fucking blast to watch with
but
a crowded
it
theater.
would have been fun. It would have been so much fun.
It would have been so much fun. People would have been singing
Yeah,
along to the music.
yeah,
People would have like laughed at the jokes.
yes.
Because like at home it's just me and Katie laughing and
Right.
like we'll laugh at dumb shit.
And I guess good for Roku, but like, what a shame.
Did they give this a theatrical release for at least like considerations?
I don't know.
Because I know Prey did.
Yeah.
Prey did like a premiere.
Hmm.
They did some theatrical releases for whatever they need to do. 'Cause
Right.
they need to release a movie in New York or LA
Oh, okay, is that what it is?
to be considered.
Yeah.
And then I know they did some special screenings of the Comanche dub
Yeah.
for like indigenous like reservations and shit,
Mm,
which was good for them,
right.
right? But I don't know if I've heard of this getting something because I could see this movie getting some love in the award season.
It would need some Snyder cut energy, like it would need a movement, like to get like theatrical cuts and stuff, which I don't think it's
Mm,
big enough to get. And in many cases
maybe.
where I'm like good for Roku, and I feel like it's very on brand that the fucking Weird Al movie would go to Roku of all places.
Hmm.
Um, but also still just like what a shame in terms of like people seeing it that it's like there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So I am reading here. Oh, so apparently Yankovic requested for the film to have a limited release in theaters so that it would be eligible for the 95th Academy Awards, but Roku declined.
oh,
Interesting. But they did, which is funny because they did premiere the movie as part of TIFF.
mm,
So I'm like, why would you like give this movie enough support to be like, hey, this is going to like
yeah.
the festival circuit and not give it at least a limited release? Like it's not.
Now, what kind of theatrical release is Glass Onion getting?
What do you mean?
Knives Out. I know it's Netflix, but I
Yeah.
also heard that it's going to get some theatrical
I
release.
mean, it's limited. It'll be like
It'll be limited. Yeah.
week and a half. So we have to get in early and watch that.
And what a shame. Like I on the one hand, I love the convenience of this, but like I don't know. There's been, I mean, I'm looking forward to Glass Onion, so I was like, oh, that's like three films in one year that I would have really loved to see.
To see in theaters.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna see Glass Onion in theater.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna
But if you
make.
miss it, then like
If you miss it, you're fucked.
yeah,
Which is weird because I don't know Are you fucking serious? Who are these people being pulled?
Jordan.
I will cut this shit out, by the way. This is so dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we saw that movie last year, the Netflix movie Army of the Dead,
Mm-hmm.
right? It came out in theaters, also
We saw
limited
it at Cinemark.
release.
Yeah.
Saw it at Cinemark at Tinseltown.
Yeah.
But even that was out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a boom 1 week you're done.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing that apparently Glass Onion is doing the same thing that All Quiet did, which was like a release for like maybe 4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Which is like it's so weird to me because it's not a saturated theater market. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
there's enough. I know Avatar is coming out, but like other than that, it's just Black Panther, which is next week.
Yeah.
Like there's not like a lot of like big ass shit coming out by the end of 2022.
So we have Black Panther comes out next week or
Yeah.
this week. Shit.
Yeah.
In 2 days,
Yeah.
and then Glass Onion will have a 1 week limited release on November 23rd.
Yeah.
Before and so this is what's done. So it's releasing on November 23rd, and then it's releasing on streaming on December 23rd. Why
Whoa.
not play it for the full month?
Yeah.
I'm sure people will go see it.
Yeah.
Like people love the first one. It
The first
made
one was great.
bang.
Yeah.
It made so much fucking
And
money.
as a Last Jedi apologist, I'm so glad that people love the first one.
I am.
Yeah. As a side note, the fucking audacity of these alt-right nerds who are like, Ryan Johnson sucks. He doesn't know shit. And it's like Breaking Bad, Knives Out. Like, you could say The Last Jedi was a
Is
shitty
he
film.
involved with Breaking Bad?
He was involved with Ozymandias and
Really?
yeah, and other big episodes.
I don't want to watch Breaking Bad.
There you go. But
But,
that's the point.
but
Because the man doesn't know shit. You can hate that Star Wars movie. That's fine.
let's be
But
honest. People who hate Star Wars or Last Jedi are like smooth brains.
smooth brains.
That's another shirt.
That's another shirt.
Hate Last Jedi,
Smooth
brain.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's the last movie was a lot of fun. I'm not saying it's like the best.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Well, I mean,
We fucking got on a Star Wars tangent on this poor Weird Al.
it's fine. It's fine. We're going on a Ryan Johnson tangent.
Yeah,
Excuse you.
yeah.
Uh, fucking. It's better than the Agatha Christie movies that have come out.
Yeah.
Like the Death on the Orient Express and Death on
Yeah.
an Isle.
I
Like
tried
I
to
would
watch
say
those too,
Knives Out
Warren.
is better than both of those movies. I'm not saying they're not good.
For sure.
They are pretty good. Have you seen them?
I tried to watch the first one.
They were pretty
Yeah.
good. We watched them, and I actually really liked the second one.
Do you?
We watched it in theater, and it was good.
Yeah.
But I still think that Knives Out is significantly better,
Yeah.
and the fact that it's only getting a 1 week release.
I feel like you could watch Knives Out at home. I feel like those other movies you would need to see in theater.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like Knives Out is compelling enough where you could watch it at home with all the distractions.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And it is compelling.
Yeah.
But I think for like having the big theater experience,
Yeah.
like I would like to see that.
So to bring it back to Weird Al.
Yes, back to Weird Al.
I think this movie could have done well at the theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it would have had good word of mouth. I think it would. Comedies usually have, if they're good,
Yeah.
they have good legs at the box office.
But I feel like people are gonna flock to biopics regardless. Maybe not flock, but like people are gonna go to a biopic. Because there's like
To
something about it.
biopics, yes.
Yeah.
The only concern that I have there is to a Weird Al biopic.
I think it will, and the minute it gets any hint of positive buzz, I think a lot of people are going to go.
I think that's what would do
I
it.
think there's enough white people who love Weird Al.
So I think if they had done what they did, which was release this movie at TIFF,
Yeah.
where it got really good buzz. I remember hearing that people who saw it were very positive. I never read the reviews, but I remember hearing good stuff coming out of this.
Yeah.
And I was like, dope. But then the fact that it didn't take advantage of that by releasing even limited,
Yeah.
I think that's where the biggest like mistake came in.
Yeah.
I would like to see more of this. Like this is the first movie in a while I think that I've seen that I'm like this is an actual straight comedy.
Yeah.
there are not a lot of comedies out right now.
Oh, I've actually talked about it on this podcast.
We have,
Yeah.
and yeah, Ticket to Paradise is out, but
Hmm.
that's a romantic comedy. Like you have to go in expecting like sappy,
Yeah.
some of the feels. Bros, I haven't seen Bros yet. I'm assuming it's very good.
Yeah.
But again, you're going into the movie expecting a romantic comedy.
Right.
But I cannot think of the last full comedy that I've seen.
The Judd Apatow comedy just kind of came and went
Which one?
in general. Like the genre of
Oh,
like,
that
yeah,
style?
yeah. Like that shit just left and I was not prepared to see it go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google 2022 comedies
Mhm.
because I swear comedy releases. I swear they are all
Rom-coms?
either rom-coms or um like an action comedy
Yeah.
or a romantic or a horror comedy. Because we had Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Uh-huh.
Very funny, but still a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe Unbearable Weight and Massive Talent.
Yeah.
Was that the last like full comedy?
It's also a biopic-ish.
Maybe.
It's not enough bio to be a biopic, but it's a parody.
Fair.
Yeah.
So then, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it. This is the only comedy, I think.
Yeah.
Because you can't really be like, oh, it's a biopic. Because you can be
Yeah.
like, no, it's not. It's a parody
It's
of
a
a
parody of
biopic,
it. Correct.
but it's not an actual biopic,
Which we don't need anymore.
which we don't need.
Biopics are out.
Biopics are out.
Yeah.
Parody biopics are in. Oh, Chip and Dale.
Chip and Dale.
Did you see Chip and Dale?
Did not see Chip
You
and
should
Dale.
check out Chip and Dale.
I heard it was good.
It's so fucking
I heard
good.
it was good.
It's like this,
Okay.
where you're expecting like a generic ass like Chip and Dale
Yeah.
live action movie, but in fact it's more like, I hate to say the word, like the deconstruction
Yeah.
of
Of a Chip and
of a
Dale.
Chip and Dale, but it is
It is that.
very good.
Yeah.
So I suggest like if you have an hour and a half.
And yet, even still, none of those are like a Judd Apatow type comedy.
Jackass is another comedy that came out this year, but still
Not a Judd Apatow type
not
comedy.
a
Yeah.
structured
Not a plot.
narrative
Yeah.
comedy, right?
Not just like normal people doing normal shit,
Not normal people
getting into
doing
some
this.
shenanigans.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we need more of that.
Yes.
And that's all I really have,
Yeah.
honestly. Like that's good enough. That's what I want. I hope.
And that's what Weird Al is.
That
Weird
is
Al
what
is
we're
good enough.
And
Yeah. And I don't say that despairingly.
I'm okay with
He is
that.
good enough.
I would still when I make my
Yeah.
Banshee, when I make my letterbox review, it will be higher than
At Banshees.
Banshees.
Yeah.
Mainly not on a technical point. It still shot very well,
It is.
and
Yeah.
I think
Acted very well.
the editing is great in this movie.
Yeah.
Like some of the cuts are
Yeah.
like just like for comedy, they are like
They
perfectly
get the
cut.
timing. I agree.
But because this is exactly what I was expecting
Yeah.
for something, even if I didn't know going in this was a parody,
Right.
I'm like,
If you
for
told
Weird
me,
Al,
yeah.
this fits perfectly.
Yeah. I agree.
So, yeah, this is going to go into my letterboxes. Very positive. And on that note,
On that note,
can't even talk about box office on this one because there is the
there's
box
the
office.
box office.
So
Our box office is. I found out the Roku channel exists.
the box office
That
is,
was my box office. I found out the Roku channel exists.
yeah, people love this movie though. So
As they should.
I'm happy that it's getting good buzz. The one thing I will say that annoyed me is that there were ads.
I think my ad blocker took care of those.
Oh.
Or did you make an account?
I mean, I have my uh, Roku TV, so we just watch
Yeah.
it through the Roku TV.
I didn't get any ads.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And
That's
there
good
are
shit.
ad breaks on the line,
Yeah.
but I didn't get any ads.
Oh, so then I'm assuming then your ad blocker took care of it then.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
For me.
Pobre.
I was like, if they had been like, hey, listen,
Yeah.
throw us $1,
Right.
take care of the ads. I'd have been like, in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah.
As soon as we were watching, I think I messaged. I was like, "Oh yeah, ads, no." So I was very upset by that.
Yeah,
But yeah, no. If you got a chance, I think anyone should check this movie out. It's pretty good.
I agree.
All right. So like we said in the last episode, we'll be back soon with an episode on
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah,
I am ready to ugly cry.
me too. Me too.
I know Isabel will bully me, but I don't care.
For crying?
She said, pussy.
Oh,
And I was like,
whatever.
I don't give a fuck.
Whatever.
This,
Yeah,
this is gonna make me happy.
yeah.
All right. Until next time.
He's Javier,
And he's Thano,
and follow us on
the
the
Cine-Scoots.
Cine-Scoots.
Bye.
Bye.